Phillip Blume, and I want to talk to you this month about how to grow your business and get new clients through relationships with wedding vendors. So let's face it, for a lot of us as photographers, as artists, the bane of our existence is just trying to keep the momentum going in our business. Marketing, spending ad dollars, trying to play friendly with wedding vendors and make friends so that they can send leads our way. There's a lot to be done, and it's a big question is where to put your energy, where to invest that time, and is it better to just pay for advertising rather than to spend a lot of time investing in relationships with vendors who honestly have a lot of photographers to choose from when they're referring their wedding clients. So to give you a little picture, my wife Eileen and I have run a successful wedding photography studio for 11 years now. And during that time, although we have tried a lot of paid advertising, including print ads in magazines like The Knot, including wedding trade shows and a lot of those staple advertising methods, we've really put all of that aside early on and have run our business successfully with no paid advertising and all vendor relationships, vendor referrals, and after the wedding, bridal wedding party referrals. So that doesn't mean that the business it doesn't pay for advertising, right? We pay for that in sweat equity. But over the years, what Eileen and I have learned is that you could spend all of your life and all of your time just trying a lot of marketing efforts, and no one pays you for that time, right? You have to be paid back by the leads you get. But you can put in all that effort and time and get nothing back. So here are some of my top tips for making sure that effort you put in is the least possible and that you get the maximum results from it. First of all, I'm coming to you today from the Arizona offices of Showit. Showit, who creates software that allows you to make amazing drag and drop websites specifically for photographers and artists. So these are very creative websites. And what I love about Showit is that they're a company that is all about their Showitiers, about their community, their users. We feel very part of this community, and that's because Showit does not act like they're the center of the universe. They're a big company. They have an amazing office here near Phoenix. But they put you at the center of the business, and that's what I want you to do in your photography business. Put these vendors at the center of the ecosystem. A lot of times we think we're the photographers, right? The vendors would not be able to market any of their flowers or decor if we didn't provide images to them that are so valuable. And our images are valuable. I'm a photographer, I believe that. And I'm going to show you, in fact, how to leverage the value of your photography for vendors. But remember, they're putting in a lot of hard work too. Our pictures would not, we wouldn't have content. We wouldn't be very publishable without really great details. Those are the things that magazines are looking for, even more so than the quality of the photos sometimes. So keep that in mind. It all starts with that foundational attitude. And then next, I want you to think about the symbiosis that you have with vendors. So I know that sounds kind of scientific, but it just means if you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours, right? You see this in nature all the time. Whether it's an alligator that needs the food plucked out of its teeth, and the bird comes in to just sit on the teeth of the alligator and sort of clean out the leftovers. And of course, the alligator could eat the bird, right? But he's not going to because it's providing a service to him. And certainly you could be used and abused by wedding vendors. Your pictures could be used inappropriately without permission, without recognition. But if you're actually serving and providing a service that's invaluable to these vendors, then they're going to allow you to benefit from what the businesses that they're also growing. So it can be a really beautiful thing when you have this kind of friendship. Now let's get into specifics here. So you can actually try some of this. And for starters, I want to talk about sample products, and think about how venues especially are always asking for a sample wedding book. This is a great way to get your brand in front of brides who come through the venues first, and get them early on. But oftentimes, unfortunately, and I steer clear of most of the venues that do this, but sometimes they want you to pay a fee every time they send you a lead if you're going to shoot a wedding there. or they're asking for these expensive wedding books to put on display, and other favors that you're supposed to do for the venue if you want to be on their preferred vendor list. What I recommend is get out ahead of the curve. So instead of waiting to be asked for photos, because frankly, sometimes you will be asked for that wedding book, but you know what, sometimes you won't be, just because you're not top of mind for that venue. Again, there's so many photographers, and probably the photographers who are doing better are the ones who, without being asked, are going first, providing the sample photos, the display photos, even maybe the wedding books for those venues before they're asked. And if you can get in there before you're asked and do it of your own volition, then they're going to be well stocked, and they're not going to be going out and asking every photographer for samples who shoots at their venue, because they just need what they need. And so, but this is the trick. Instead of doing an expensive wedding book, especially if you're providing for several venues, that can be a risky expense. So go in there, and again, you're being proactive. You haven't even been asked yet. So go in there, instead of a book, do like a large 16 by 20, 16 by 24, 20 by 30, a large mounted print. We use White House Custom Color. They do great print work. It's like mounted on a styrene board. It's inexpensive to you as a photographer to produce this. Instead of just one photo, make a little ad out of it. Make like a graph. Use your smart software or funny software or something to make a graphic with a collage of some of your favorite weddings. Make sure these colors go together. Show some details, but mostly show couples who those who see this advertisement will relate with and feel an emotional connection. And then make sure you put your logo prominently and the venue's logo maybe even more prominently, because you want them to value this piece. And you're going to deliver it in person to the venue, and it's such a stunning, eye-catching, and effective ad piece for them as well. With their logo on it, they can't resist putting that up. And they're not going to say, why are you giving me this when I asked for a book, when they didn't ask for a book yet. You got out ahead of the curve. And so you've actually exceeded expectations, and you've saved yourself a lot of money, and you've had a more impactful ad in that space. Any venue you shot at, go and do this. Now, let's talk about delivery of digital photos, because this is the simplest thing that we can all do, you guys. I know we all say, well, everybody's doing that. Why do I? Well, the amazing thing is everyone knows they should do this, but to this day, 11 years into our business, we talk to venues all the time who are blown away that we just deliver digital images to them quickly after a wedding, because usually they wait ages to see it or never see photos. So deliver digital photos quickly. What I would say is make sure that you show at least one or two sneak peek images that feature the venue in some way day after the wedding, maybe even that night. The faster you can do this is going to get you out ahead before, social media is fast these days, and the planners, the florists, the venues themselves, they want something to show right away, maybe even live during an event, so that they can try to create some traction with their guests and their clients who are using maybe the wedding hashtag on Instagram or something like that. And so make sure you ask ahead of the wedding, what is the wedding hashtag? Use that when you post. And what we do, Eileen and I do now, is we don't even have to carry a laptop to the wedding anymore. We finally upgraded our cameras to have the capability of Wi-Fi transfer and image straight to our phones. We just rate and pick a favorite sneak peek or two from the camera back and send it to our phones. And you can use a program like Buffer or Hootsuite or IFTTT, if this then that. You can use any of these to maybe post in multiple social media at a time and mention those vendors. How do you get all that information when you're in the middle of shooting a wedding, right? So get this information ahead of time. We actually send a questionnaire to our couples ahead of the wedding, simply asking, making it simple for them so that they are likely to actually come through and provide the information we ask for. We don't ask for every bit of detail about their vendors, but we ask for the vendors' names and email addresses. Now that's important because we're going to email all the vendors a mass email ahead of the wedding, just letting them know all the things that we want to do for them. Not asking for anything. I would recommend you never call a planner and say, can I just get together with coffee for you and pick your brain? That's not a big enough favor for them, right? Buying them coffee, everyone wants to do that. And really everyone just wants something from them. So instead of wasting their time, which is very valuable, get out with an email ahead of them and make contact that way. And just let them know, listen, we want to provide photos for you. We want to, if you really like that, if you honestly like that venue or that planner, we'd love to partner with you to put you on our recommendation list to our clients. If they know that you're doing that for them, they're more likely to offer to do it for you without you having to ask. So that email ahead just explains to them, listen, this is how you're going to get your pictures after the wedding. And the way we do that is we have used in the past 2 Bright Lights, which is an online website software service that is fantastic still. It's owned by The Knot now, and it was purchased by them a few years ago. So whenever you upload pictures, they're always going to suggest you publish on The Knot first, right? But so you can publish in many, many publications there. And that's a great way if you need to build credibility. We do still take time later on to try to publish some of our weddings, but we have over the years built plenty of credibility and been published plenty of times that we prefer to focus on our vendors now because that's better for our local business. So we just use ShootProof. ShootProof is our online gallery software system. So we upload all of the pictures, and this is a brand new feature. Now instead of just a gallery for your client, you upload the pictures just once, but now you can click and create a hidden, invisible vendor gallery. And for us, for example, our clients cannot download their pictures from their galleries. They can view them and purchase, but no downloads. But if you are a vendor and you check in with this vendor password, then all of a sudden you do see the ability to download images at whatever size we want, with whatever logo, watermark we want on it for our vendors to have. We can limit how many photos they're allowed to download, so they're not just downloading the whole gallery. They're just downloading their favorite 25 or 50 that show their work. And so we're able to control the environment, but make it very easy for them to get in and only upload photos online one time. And they know ahead how to access that. So they're not emailing us after the wedding and asking us to send them the photos. We don't even deal with those emails anymore. They already know the procedure and the workflow, so they can get it. What we do get is a lot of thank you emails. And that's awesome because we've already tagged them on social media during the wedding. They know who we are, they start tagging us, and this really does explode pretty quickly. So that's just some ideas to think about with digital delivery. If people do misuse your photos, don't waste your energy, time, emotional investment, trying to call them up and slap them on the wrist and remind them of copyright law. Yes, we want to defend copyright law. We do that in a lot of important ways, through PPA and increasing copyright protections for photographers and just doing things right in the first place. But you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to make enemies among vendors if you're slapping people on the wrist. So instead, make sure you're doing the right thing, getting images to them quickly and guiding that process rather than being reactive, and basically forcing them where sometimes they'll feel they have no other option than to screen capture or copy blog photos in a way that you don't want them to. Give them what you do want them to have. So that's some of the tricks we use, speeding up the process. Also, touch points, guys. So we can't go out and have a long dinner with every one of the planners who we love, or the venue managers. We have a family of 3 kids. We travel the world. We have other priorities, but you do still want a human touch point with these venues and vendors. So we make sure that our preferred vendors are on our Christmas card mailing list. As simple as that. Keeping a human connection so they know who we are as a family, not just the face we are as an employee on the wedding day, right? You could do a special loyalty program. Include your vendors in your loyalty program at your studio, so they get maybe a free family portrait session for their family once a year. And wow, does that help you spend a little bit of quality time with them that may even lead to more print sales down the road? It's a win-win. So include them in that. Include them in your life and your business in some way, where you're not having to go out there and suck up. No, you're actually doing something strategic that really is scratching your back and their back. So I hope that some of those tips help you. There are more in my article in Shutter Magazine this month, and we look forward to communicating with a lot of you guys through our education online. So from all of us at Blume Photography and also here at Show It Today, have a great month. Bye.